Right, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to look at how to set your Kanban file. This comes after you have done your installation. We are still on QuickBooks Pro. We're using version 2020. So after installing your QuickBooks Pro, you now come to how to create your Kanban file. So after the installation, you should have a shortcut on your desktop. You see this shortcut. If you don't have this shortcut, you can find the program via Windows File Explorer, then issue it, then you look for QuickBooks Pro. You'd find this in the folder, right? But normally you have a shortcut here. So for you to get started, you just have to double click on this shortcut. It will launch QuickBooks, right? So you just have to wait for QuickBooks to launch, right? So you have got 30 days because we're using a trial version so that you just see how this software works. So you've got 30 days to find out. For you to get started, there are 3 ways to get started. You could get started by clicking on I want to see a Kanban file, a simple Kanban file, or you could start by I am ready to create my own Kanban file, or you could start by I want to open an existing Kanban file. Right. In this video, we're going to start by I am ready to create my Kanban file. A Kanban file basically is just a database into which your Kanban information is stored. So you have to create that Kanban database so that you are able to start capturing transactions. So for you to get started, you click on I'm ready to create my Kanban file. So when you click there, QuickBooks Pro will do what it does, then it will launch this window. There are 2 ways of creating a Kanban file. You've got the Express Start, whereby QuickBooks answer some basic questions and whereby you answer some basic questions, then QuickBooks does the rest. You can always make changes later. Of course, recommended for new users. Then there is the advanced setup, where QuickBooks says give us some more details and will guide you step by step through the available options. Recommended if you want to fine-tune your setup. In this training, we're going to use advanced setup. Express setup is quicker. You could try that later on. Since you've got the installation files and you've installed this, you could try this later on. But in this training video, we're going to use advanced setup. So we click on advanced setup. When you click there, we are taken to the easy step interview window where we have to start by entering our Kanban information. As you can see here, enter your Kanban information. So we start by entering the Kanban name, which is Masimpa Resources. So this has to be typed professionally. This is a private limited company. So we're putting in private, right? Private limited. So we're putting in that. So the company name can also be the legal name. Then we come down here, we put in the physical address. So this company is based in at number 412 Paisley Road, right in Southerton. Let's put Southerton there. So we have got Southerton up here. So Southerton. So here you put in the address in Harare. This is a company which is based in Zimbabwe. So the country here is what? Zimbabwe. Right. So you've got your Zimbabwe there. Then the postcode is 263. Right. Then here on country, you now have to remove United Kingdom and put other. But Zimbabwe is not on the list of countries, so you put other there. Then here you put in the phone number, starting with the country code, then area code, then you put in the phone number. You could also put a fax if you have got, starting with the country code, putting the area code, then putting the fax number if you have got one. Then down here you put in the registration number of the business. Like this is a private company, so the registration number is got from the register of companies. Then you come down here, you put in the email address. This is the main email address of this business, so you put it down here, right? .co.zw. Right here it should be at Masimba, so I have to correct that at masimba.co.zw. Then down here you put in the web address. If the business has got a website, so you put in the web address. So once you have done with this window where you enter the company information, you click on next to continue. Now you are taken to the select your industry window, whereby you have to select the industry which you are in. You'd find QuickBooks gives you from accounting or bookkeeping up to general service based business. So you have to scroll through this list and find the appropriate industry or category which represents your industry. If you are a manufacturer, obviously you could select manufacturing. If you were into legal services like a law firm, you could select legal services. If you were like a medical clinic, you could select this one. So you see, depending on the nature of your business, you select the appropriate industry. But for this training, you are selecting general product based business. Then we click next to continue. Then we come to this window. How is your company organized? Is it a sole trader? Is it a partnership? Is it a company limited by liability or unlimited? Is it a non-profit or is it another or other? Right. So for our purposes, we select company. Then we click next to continue. Then we come to this, select the first month of a financial year. This is a financial period which has got 12 months, normally running from January to December. So for that, if it is running from January to December, we put January as our first year. But probably your financial year runs from another period, you have to select the starting month. For our purposes, we are selecting January. Then we click next to continue. Then we come up to this, select your administrator password, optional. We could put in a password, but we are not putting in a password now. We'll put it later on. You'll see next when we proceed with this video. So for now, we leave it blank. Then we just click on next. Right. Then QuickBooks is now ready to create our Kanban file. As you can see, your QuickBooks information is stored in a file called the Kanban file, which we are creating. Click next to choose a file name and location to save your Kanban file. So we click on next. Right. When we click on next, we are taken to this window. We are going to save this Kanban file that we are creating in this folder, Kanban files. Right. So for us to do that, we click on save. When we click on save, QuickBooks will begin creating our Kanban file. So this process will run from 0 to 100%. We just have to wait while it does the creation of the Kanban file. It doesn't take long. It may prompt us, it may give us warnings. We just have to respond appropriately. We'll show you as the Kanban file process progresses if anything comes up. So we just have to wait for it to run through. So it might bring up this, the payroll text table is now out of date. Any payroll calculations generated using this text table will be 0. You should automatically receive the latest text table via automatic update. Now, we are just going to say yes. The payroll system on QuickBooks is not applicable to Zimbabwe jurisdiction or any other jurisdiction which is not the UK. Because the parameters which are in that payroll are meant for UK, not for any other jurisdiction. So you just have to ignore it, click OK, then it will disappear. So the Kanban file creation is run through and our Kanban file has been created. As you can see up here, we now have got this name here. But still, we have to continue customizing our Kanban file. So we do that by clicking next. We are now taken to what do you sell? There are 3 options: services only, products only, both services and products. In our case, we're going to select both products and services. But if you do services only, you just have to select that. But for training, we're going to select both services and products. Then we click next to continue. Right. Then we come up to this window. Do you charge VAT? This is value added tax or sales tax. So if you are registered for value added tax by the tax authorities of your jurisdiction, you have to select yes. If you are not, you have to select no. But in our case, we're going to select yes. Then here on VAT scheme, you have to select standard. Then down here, you have to put in the date, the VAT registration date, the date that you were registered by the tax authority. So you put in the registration date. Then down here, you put in the VAT number, right? Or the sales tax number that you were given. Then here, you've got 2 reporting methods. You've got the accrual basis, which is widely used, and you've got the cash basis. You'd find by default, the accrual basis is selected. Accrual meaning to say tax is due on invoicing. Whether you're invoiced by the supplier, if the supplier is registered for VAT, the tax becomes due for that supplier. If you are registered for VAT and you sell to a customer, when you invoice a customer, tax becomes due, right? So this is the accrual basis. The cash basis is whereby tax becomes due when you get paid. Not normally used by many companies, and if you ever had to use it, you should be authorized by the tax authorities. So by default, accrual basis is selected. You now just have to click on next, right? Then you come to, do you want to create estimates in QuickBooks? These are quotations. As you can see here, some businesses refer to estimates as quotes, bids, proposals. So if you do this, you have to activate here by clicking on yes, right? Then you click next to continue. Using statements. Statements are basically documents that you give to clients that you say on credit, showing transactions which have gone through their accounts. So the statement will basically show the invoices which have gone through the account, payments, and the balance sitting on that account. So you may want to use that. You may actually want to issue out statements to clients. So you select yes, then you click next to continue. Progress invoicing. Using progress invoicing, you'd find by default no is selected. Why? Because most business do not use progress invoicing except for construction companies, because they bill clients or customers on progress. When they do a stage, it could be footing, it could be roofing, it could be what, then they invoice according to that particular stage. So they may use progress invoicing, but for most businesses, progress invoicing is not used. So we select no, then we click next to continue. Then we come to managing bills. These are accounts payables, because at times you get services or products on account, so you'd want to track those bills. So you'd find here QuickBooks says knowing what money you owe or your payables is an important part of managing your cash flow. QuickBooks can help you manage your cash flow by knowing which suppliers you owe money to, tracking how much money you owe, reminding you when bills are due. So you have to select yes for you to be able to manage bills on QuickBooks. Then you click on next to continue, right? Then you come to tracking stocks. If you are selling physical products, you'd want to track stocks. So you select yes for you to be able to track stocks. Then you click on next to continue. Then time tracking time. Time tracking is done by lawyers, doctors, and some accountants. Most business, they don't track time. See, tracking time allows you to bill customer based on time spent on their project, or analyze time spent on project, or for planning and job costing, or pay your hourly employees or contractors. So if you are a lawyer or a doctor, a medical doctor, or an accountant who bills on time, then you select yes. But for most businesses, we select no. Then we click next to continue. Then do you have employees? Yes, we have got employees, but we're going to select no. As I said, the payroll setups on this QuickBooks Pro are meant for the UK market. So we select no, then we click next to continue. Then tracking out currencies, right? If you are an exporter or an importer, you'd want to set up multi-currency. If you're in a jurisdiction like Zimbabwe, you'd want to set up multi-currency. So you select yes. Why? Like in Zimbabwe, we're selling, we've got a basket of currencies. You can sell in any currency. It's allowed with the monetary policy, which is currently there. So you select yes. Then you have got to set up a home currency, right? Which is your reporting currency or your financial presentation currency. In Zimbabwe, you could actually select the Zimbabwean dollar by coming here, view more. Then you scroll down, you select you scroll down here, you select the Zimbabwean dollar, then you make it active. Right? But I'm not going to use the Zimbabwean dollar because it's not stable. The exchange rate is volatile. So, at times the financials becomes meaningless. So I'm just going to use the US dollar as our reporting or presentation currency. Then we click next to continue, right? The system is now ready using accounts in QuickBooks. Then we just have to click on next. Then we have got to select a date to start tracking our finances. So this is our financial year start date. We could select the beginning of this financial year, which is 1 January 2023, or we could use today's date or the first day of the quarter or month. So normally we recommend that just begin at the beginning of the financial year, right? Then click next to continue. Then here you review the chart of accounts or the accounts that are going to appear, income and expense accounts. So if an account is not ticked, it means it won't appear on your chart of accounts. So basically you just have to put a ticks against those accounts which do not have ticks. So quickly just put ticks there, right? We just put ticks there quickly. So you scroll down, look for accounts which do not have a tick against them. Then you just click against that, as I'm doing right now. And now what it does is it puts a tick against that account. So basically just have to run through quickly and put those ticks so that these accounts appear in your chart of accounts so that you can use them. So quickly you just do that until you get to the end. We would want to use all those accounts. There is no harm, right? So basically this is what we do. You run through this, right? You run through this, you run through quickly so that you, yes, so we're almost there, we're almost done, right? Once you are done, we then click on next to continue. Congratulations, you have completed the easy step interview. You now have a Kanban file with the customized settings for your business. Next, will help you enter your critical business info using QuickBooks Setup. So we are done. We now have to go to Setup or QuickBooks Setup. Then you see what happens there. So we go there by clicking on Go to Setup. When we click there, QuickBooks will do what it does, then it will take us to the next window. We now have to see what is on that window and what steps we are supposed to take. Now, on this window, you have got a Kanban file. Now add info. Get your critical info into QuickBooks Desktop so that you can start working. You know, there are options here. You could start adding your customer accounts and supplier accounts by clicking on add. That's why here it says add people you do business with. So these are your customers and your suppliers. So you could start by adding them by clicking on add. We're not going to add. Then you could also add your products and services by clicking on add. You could also add your bank accounts by clicking on add. But these three, we're going to do them later on systematically so that you actually see the step-by-step your procedure that you have to take. For now, we're going to click on start working so that we launch into QuickBooks and see the interface and how it works. Then later on, of course, we'll look at those creations. So you see, when we click on that start working, it may prompt us to put in a complex password. Complex in the sense that it has to have special characters and some numbers and some letters which have got to have cap locks and small caps for it to be considered to be complex enough. So I put in the new password, then I confirm it. Then here I just select a challenge question, then I put in the answer, right? You don't have to forget the password, because once you forget the password, you can't log into your Kanban file. Imagine if you have captured transactions for a year, you forget the password, you'll be in trouble. So you put in those, then once you are done, you click on OK. You'd find if everything is okay, my password will be set. Your QuickBooks password has been changed. Then I just click on OK, right? So once I click on OK, it may bring up this warning again about the payroll. You just have to click on OK, right? Then it will do what it does. It's now launching. I'm now getting into the interface so that I start working, right? Again, it may bring up this. Just click on OK to close that. Then you can see that my interface has come up, right? Initially, QuickBooks will take you through a new feature store, right? Showing you the new features. If I was connected to the internet, you could find something was going to be playing here. But because I don't have internet, you can see QuickBooks says we can't take you on this store because your computer is offline. So I just close this, right? Okay, fine. So now we are launched in, we are in. What we have here is what we term the homepage. So these are just shortcuts to the various functions that you have on QuickBooks. So, you know, they put up this homepage, which is colorful, which is good, right? Then up here, we've got what the menu buttons, starting from file, edit, view, list, favorites, company, VAT, customer, suppliers, employees, banking, reports, window, then help. We're going to be using what is up here. In learning, in training, we're going to use what is up here. Once you master what is up here, you've mastered what is on the home page. Here, we've got the Explorer. Again, once you master what is up here, you would also have mastered what is here on the Explorer. So you can access functions using this Explorer. You can access functions using this home page. You can also access functions on QuickBooks using what is up here. So this is how the interface looks. Right, we are stopping here for now. We continue in the next video where we do further customization, like customizing our amount current, setting up the exchange rates and everything, and also do other the customizations which are necessary. So for now, we're stopping here in this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like our videos, share on social media, right? On Facebook, on WhatsApp, Telegram, right? If you've got any comments, just put them in the comment section. Any questions, put in the comment section. Then we'll help you and reply you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.